The poverty cycle. My assistant is covering the screen so I can switch it over to my actual PowerPoint. Hello, my name is Christopher Gillian, and this is my advocacy presentation. I'm really big on poverty in America and how we can decrease it. So this is my advocacy presentation for Dr. Che. Advocacy is public support for or recommendation of a particular cause or policy. The will of advocacy is respect confidentiality, believe and validate her and or his experiences, acknowledge injustice, respect her or his anatomy, help her or his plan for future safety, and promote access to community services. My advocacy statement was, we believe that food is an essential part of life, necessary to maintain the good health in the body, mind, and spirit. We should come together as a community, generation, and nation along with the government to support the need of essential food resources. As responsible advocates, it is our job to raise awareness and take action to reduce poverty in America. What is poverty? The state of being extremely poor, the state of being inferior in quality or insufficient in amount. Poverty is about not having enough money to meet basic needs, including food, clothing, and or shelter. However, poverty is much more than just not having enough money. Most people don't understand what poverty is. You cannot have lights. You could be in your house with food but no bed to sleep in. And basically this means you're impoverished, which means poverty. This is a actual 2017 federal poverty guideline for the family sizes and the gross annual income, the gross monthly income, and approximately hourly wage which you need to make to maintain being above poverty. And this is of January 31st, 2017. The targets of poverty, before I tell you what those are, the sign says 44 million African Americans live in poverty. We are the 99%. The targets of poverty are single parents, new immigrants, Aboriginal people, and people with disabilities. Causes of poverty can be location, racial and gender discrimination, economic shifts, lower skills, education, and literacy, inequality among wages, and shifts in family structure. All those things can cause poverty. Impact of poverty: hunger can cause malnutrition in anyone who has not been fed or had an adequate meal. Cognitive delay and poor performance in work and or school. Families spend more money on fast food because they can't afford healthy food, and higher risk of losing vision, hearing, speech, mobility, and cognition. The impact of poverty in children. Children who are under poverty sometimes have issues with physical, emotional, developmental, and cognitive delays. Children who are born into poverty have had issues with health, education, and housing. The current poverty rate in America, the official poverty rate is 13.5% based on the U.S. Census Bureau's 2015 estimates. That year, an estimated 43.1 million Americans lived in poverty according to the official measure. According to supplemental poverty measure, the poverty rate is 14.3%. This is the actual map, the United States poverty rate from 1959 until 2015, which is the last time it was measured. It has went down since 1960, and that's probably an era where our grandparents were growing up and starting to have children. And it shows the official poverty measure in dark blue, supplemental poverty measure in the gold color in the corner, and below 50% federal poverty line. Vulnerability in poverty. Vulnerability can be defined as the diminished capacity of an individual or group to anticipate, cope with, resist, and recover from the impact of a natural or man-made hazard or lack of income to meet basic needs. The concept is relative and dynamic. Vulnerability is most often associated with poverty, but it can also arise when people are isolated, insecure, and defenseless in the face of risk, shock, and or stress. The social aspects of poverty. The big 5 factors of poverty as a social problem include ignorance, disease, apathy, dishonesty, and dependency. These in turn contribute to secondary factors such as lack of markets, poor infrastructure, poor leadership, bad governance, underemployment, lack of skills, lack of capital, and others. Go back on it so you can see it. Effects on society as a whole. In the end, poverty is a major cause of social tensions and threatens to divide a nation because of the issue of inequalities, in particular, income inequality. This happens when wealth in a country is poorly distributed among citizens. We in America realize this because everyone says that men can and will be paid more than a woman for doing the same job. These are the facts of poverty just made into an actual oval-shaped poverty fact. Disease, apathy, dependency, dishonesty, and ignorance. These are stigmas also of poverty. Policies that help. Even before the recession, Americans were having a difficult time making ends meet. Struggling to get back on their feet, more and more families have chosen between necessities, shelter, childhood, and care. And food. Working to address poverty in America demands confronting the root causes of economic injustice and promoting social policies that help. Learn more about some major legislative policies that help get back on their feet. Your voice will make a difference. These are pictures of me doing personal advocacy. That's advocacy against HIV and AIDS, advocacy in Montgomery for the HB 252 bill, on actual The Hill, defending policies that were going on in Fairfield, Alabama between the years of 2015 and 16. That is me with Congresswoman Terry Sewell on The Hill in the Oval Office right after a meeting we had. Me and one of my classmates, T. Amber Chess, fighting advocacy for HIV and AIDS. Community resources only in Alabama. All Kids, Senior RX, OBRA Medicaid, Alabama Child Caring Program, and housing vouchers can be for those parents who are single parents and in need of housing for them and their children. These are references for my slides. And that's the end of the video.